what's up you guys, After Show Reacts here, and today I'm going to be talking about an event I went to. So this was a Buffy trivia night, and as you guys know, Buffy has been like a very big part of my channel. It is where I started, and I love to, give it some love every now and then with some, collaborations with other YouTubers and all that kind of stuff. I like to make sure that, even though I'm done reacting to the show, like, it's still a part of me. So this was really exciting. I'm gonna go through, like, what, like, the experience was leading up to it, and then I'm gonna go over the questions, and then I will tell you how I did in this quiz. You're gonna have to wait and see how well I did. I heard about this, it was just like an ad online, and we have this place called TGI Fridays. And basically every Tuesday they have like a themed quiz night, which it was really cool. It's just really cool, pretty much. And there was an ad for a Buffy themed trivia night, and I was like, hell yeah, I need to go to this. Because I'm always the one organizing all of like the collaborations and quizzes and all that kind of stuff with other YouTubers, so I don't really get to like be part of those kinds of experiences. So it was really exciting to be, a contestant, I suppose. So yeah, I booked myself and a friend of mine some tickets. She told me that, she's going through some like health problems at the moment, so she told me that she might not be able to come. That's fine. But it goes on. So this was like 2 weeks ago. And I had heard that the last week, so it would have been a week from, anyways, last week they had a Simpsons trivia night, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna like suss out what kind of questions we're gonna get, because for all I know, there could be super easy questions, and like for all I know, there might not be a whole lot of people there as well. So I took someone to the Simpsons one, and yeah, it was just kind of like a research situation. We came last. We came last on the Simpsons one. But like he gave me a little bit of information about like what kind of questions we were going to get, like how it just kind of worked. So, it was research. Anyways, so I was very excited about this experience, I'm not going to lie, that I dressed up. And I'm currently still wearing my costume. You can't see it, but I will probably just put a picture somewhere here showing you what I looked like. I'm dressed as Buffy. Anyways, so I posted in my Discord and on YouTube ideas for team names, and you guys came up with some really awesome ones. The one that I wanted to go with the most was Out for a Walk, Bitch. But I felt like that was like, if there was kids around or something like that, probably not the best idea. Funny that though, because one of the people's team, like one of the teams was actually named Out for a Walk, Bitch, so there you go. My second option that I was going to go for with my team name was actually What's a Rogue Demon? But I figured that is Angel, so I didn't go with that one. But funny that someone said someone's team name was Rogue Demon Hunters. So I mean, everything that I was gonna go for, someone else went for, anyways. There was some interesting other names as well. Someone named themselves the New Big Bads. Someone named themselves Slayer, the. I thought that was kind of cool.
Slayer, the.
There's a few other ones, but I can't think of them. I'm like riding high from like just leaving and coming back and making a video about it. So my team name, by the way, I ended up having to go by myself. My friend was just not well enough, so I went by myself. My team name is Ben is Subletting for Glory. I thought it was a cool name. Anyways, the host of the trivia I met last week. and I had a bit of a chat to them about like whether or not they were a Buffy fan, so whether or not they'd get my team name. As it turns out, they just like researched the questions. They're not actually a fan, so that was kind of sad. Didn't really get my team name reference, but you know, people you know, had a bit of a giggle when they heard my name, so there's that. Yeah, I had like a little bit of a chat with them, and I was like, all week to everyone, I've been like talking about this trivia to people, and I'm like, I'm gonna win. Like, I'm seriously gonna win. Like, last week when I had left the Simpsons trivia, I got into an elevator with this woman, and she, I was like, yeah, we came last, and she's like, oh, that's alright. And then I'm like, I'll be back here next week, though, and I'll win. And she goes, oh, I might want to join your team then. And I'm like, yeah, no worries. Anyways, so, she didn't join my team. Just so you know, just in case you're curious. Because I did walk up to her, she was alone. I gained enough courage to walk up to her and be like, hey, we met last week, I was just like, are you alone? Like, did you want to pair up like you asked? And she's like, oh, nah, I was just like, and I was like, oh, what's your team name? And she's like, oh, Slaying It Solo was her team name. Eventually she had someone actually join her, so she wasn't solo, so it was kind of embarrassing. I was really embarrassed about walking up and asking her to be my teammate, and then just kind of getting rejected. I don't do very well with rejection. Anyways, so I was talking to the host, and I was like, I want to win this, by the way. I'm dressed as Buffy. And I, like, showed the picture of, like, the reference picture, and they were very impressed. And I'm like, if I don't win this, then it's embarrassing for me because I built a career off of Buffy. And they asked me to elaborate, and I told them I was a YouTuber, and that I review TV shows and movies, and they just got really excited about that. And they announced it to everyone. Yep, they announced to everyone on the microphone that there was a super nerd YouTuber here tonight. And everyone stared at me. That was not the first time I was embarrassed that night, and it was not the last. I guess we've got to go through the questions now, don't we? So there was a few things that we could do to get extra points. We could share on socials and stuff like that, pictures. So I did everything I could to get as many points as possible. Because I've been ranting and raving all week about coming first and winning. And I needed to, you know, actually come out of it as a winner. Usually when I, like, talk shit about stuff, I get hit immediately. So, like, I was expecting to lose at this point, to be honest. Anyways, let's go over the questions. There is, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds, and then there's also, like, a drawing thing that they get you to do. I tried to write down, like, little prompts next to every question so I could remember what the question kind of was, so I could go over it in detail with you guys, see if you guys would know the answer or not. And I don't know, just thought it would make an interesting video for the Buffy fans out there. Maybe you guys know the answers, and Look, I got a couple wrong. Every round has 8 questions, and I'm just going to go over them. And, you know, I'll let you know what I guessed, and I'll tell you if it was right. And you can tell me if you got it right as well. So the first question was, the English folk song Early One Morning was sung to what character? And you can let me know what you guys think the answer is, but I put in William the Bloody, aka Spike, because technically he was William at the time, but I couldn't think of his last name at the time, so I just wrote William the Bloody and Spike. So that was correct. Then the next question was, how many times did Buffy die? And so this is a bit of a, like, up to interpretation question, technically. So I wrote down 2, but not including the gunshot. When this question was read out, the answer that the host had was 2 times, but there was lots of people that were saying 3, and I opened my mouth and said, well, it's kind of up to interpretation, and it can be 3 because she gets shot, and then the Willow takes the bullet out of her, and the machine goes. So technically, she could have been dead. So technically, if you had 3 as your answer, you kind of got a point too. Anyways, the next question was, what did Rack say Willow smelled like? So this was actually one of the first of the multiple choice questions. There was actually a lot of multiple choice questions, which I was a little bit disappointed in because it kind of gave people easier ways to get points, I feel. Just saying. But I already knew the answer before they started reading out the options, so I wrote strawberries, and that was correct. Yeah, the next question was, who was Dawn's first kiss? It was like a vampire in an episode about Halloween, maybe? I actually don't really remember. But the whole time, I left this one blank for a very long time, because I was like, I can't think of the name at all. So I'm really curious if you guys know the answer just off by heart. I eventually just wrote down Justin. I don't know why, I just wrote down Justin. And I was correct. I was so absolutely flabbergasted. There was so many times when I thought about crossing it out and writing Jake. Or some other name. Justin, I have legit no recollection of this guy's name ever being said. And I got it right. So I was very surprised about that one. So the next question was, what did Xander dress as in case they turned into their Halloween costumes again? And I wrote James Bond, which was correct. There's also a side note here, because there was a couple of people that were actually dressed up just like me, so that was exciting. There was someone that was dressed as Spike, there was a couple people dressed as Buffy, and then there was this one person that was just dressed normally, but they had a name tag that said God, so that reminded me of that, so that was kind of cool. The next question was, who did Anya sleep with after the wedding was called off? The answer was Spike. I got that correct. And then the next question was, where did Tara celebrate her birthday? And that was the Bronze. I got that correct. And the next question, as they were reading out, they read the first word out. I don't remember exactly what the question was word for word, but as they started reading the question out, I immediately answered it before they could even finish what they were saying. So the question was something along the lines of, what did Buffy name herself while she was gone, while she ran away, while she was waitressing or something. I don't remember exactly word for word what it was, but the answer is Anne. I mean, come on, at least try. So yeah, those were the first 8 questions. I'd like to know how you guys did. If you're playing along, did you get all 8 right? Because I did. I got all 8 right. Anyways, round 2. The first question for round 2, it was a multiple choice, but I knew the answer before it was read out, but I needed the question fully. So the question was, what was Jenny Calendar's gypsy clan? I actually don't. Again, I'm not reading them out as though they were the correct, the way the question was read out. It's just my prompt is what I'm trying to remember, what the questions were. But what was her clan? Do you know what her clan was? The answer is the Calderush clan. I got that correct, so thank you. Thank you. The next question was, what was Giles's name before he was a Watcher? The answer is Ripper. I got that correct. The next question was, what was Mayor Wilkins' first name? The answer is Richard. I got that right. So this next one was actually quite difficult, I feel like. So I'll give them credit for this one. The question was basically, how much in pounds did Dracula owe Spike? And I wrote 100 pounds. I would like to know what you guys think the answer is, because I was incorrect. This is the first one I got incorrect. The answer was 11 pounds, apparently. I don't know, I went to the toilet at this point in time, so I just asked the person next to me what the answer was when they were reading the papers and stuff. The next question was, which state is Riley from? And obviously the answer is Iowa, because this is literally an episode called Goodbye, Iowa. This next one, I was like flabbergasted. I was so confused. So the question was, what did Sheila call Buffy when she forgot her name? And I was like, who the fuck is Sheila? I literally asked the host, I was like, are you sure it's Sheila? Like, because immediately the thing that comes to my mind was Joan. Like, when Buffy forgets her name and Dawn tries to name her and then, like, Buffy's like, no, I feel like a Joan. That's what I was thinking. And so I wrote Joan, which I did cross out, thankfully. And I was like, I had to think about it for a while. Eventually I came back to it, and because I remembered that Sheila was the character from School Hard. You know, Spike's first episode. Spike and Drusilla's first episode. And she was like the delinquent girl that was supposed to be, I don't know, painting with Buffy. Anyways, that girl's name was Sheila. And I wrote down Bunny because I feel like a lot of people in the show has just called her Bunny, and Buffy's been like, it's Buffy. I wasn't too happy with that answer, to be honest, because I felt like it was wrong. And as I was looking at, so we were told to, you know, switch papers with the person next to us, like the people that were sitting next, anyways. And they wrote down Muffy, and I was like, oh, that's it, isn't it? Anyways, we got to that question's answer, and the answer was Bunny, so I got that right. That was another one I guessed, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, it's pretty bad at that. The next question was, who realized that Faith was in Buffy's body? So technically, let's talk about this one for a moment. I wrote down Tara notices and Willow goes into a trance. So technically the answer is Willow, because she's the one that finds out what's wrong exactly. But the answer was Tara. So I got the one right. Yeah. And then the final question for round 2 was, Kennedy references this movie as being her sexual awakening, and it was a multiple choice question, and the answer that I gave was Gone with the Wind, and I was correct. So out of the 8 in round 2, I got 7 correct. So how did you guys go? Let me know. I'm really curious if anyone's playing. The next round started with they named like what the magic shop used to be called, and was like, what did it become? And the answer was the magic box. So like, I don't know, like that was just an easy, like super easy question. The next question was, who ate Andrew's last Hot Pocket? I, for the life of me, could not think of who it was, so I wrote one of the potentials, and then I wrote Amanda. The correct answer was Faith, so if any of you guys got that right, let me know. Next question was, who sired Angel? The answer was Darla. I got that right. This one was quite funny, because the way that they tried to pronounce the word. So what which vampire was Buffy up against for her cruciamentum. The way they pronounced cruciamentum was quite interesting. But the answer that I gave, it was a multiple choice for this one as well. The answer I selected was Zachary Kralik, and that was correct. The next question was, what did Angel warn Buffy of the first time they met? And the answer is very obviously the harvest. The next question was, Walsh, what I've got written here is Walsh recommends, and basically the question was, what did she, if you wanted to just, like, not, like, have to do much in class, like, if you wanted to just skate by in class without having to do any work, what class did she recommend? And there was 4 different options. I wrote civics. I don't know why. I just felt like I heard that from her mouth. But the answer was geology, apparently. So that's one that I got wrong. The next question was, how long was the master asleep in a puddle of blood for? I wrote 30 years because I kind of remember him being like, for 30 years I've been trapped under the, I don't know, maybe I'm just making shit up because the answer was actually 60 years, but I mean, kind of close. A little bit. And then the last question for round 3 was, which superhero did Riley compare Buffy to? And there was 4 different options. I wrote down Spider-Man before even hearing any of the options because I remember Buffy being like, yeah, but I don't stick to stuff. So yeah, out of the, 8 questions in round 3, I got 5 correct. So that one was, after I got my piece of paper back, I was very nervous about how many I'd got wrong here. Because, I don't know, I was just, when I went to the Simpsons trivia, people got, a lot of points. So, I was just really worried that I was just not going to do very well. It was at this point where the host decided to just kind of, let us, if we wanted to do an impersonation of a character, sing a song from a character, whatever, you could do that. Pretty much everyone was like, I'm going to sing, there was, a couple of different people that decided to sing songs. I was one of them. So I put my hand up to sing I've Got a Theory. It's a demon, a dancing demon. Anyways, so I started singing it, and I would like to tell you that I'm very good at the part where, Xander says it could be witches, some evil witches, which is ridiculous because witches, they were wicked good, persecuted, lovely earth, and women power, and I'll be over here. Okay, I can do it, right? But, so when I got to that point, everyone started singing along with me, and I lost what I was saying. I got so confused, and I got so embarrassed, and I messed it up, and then I was like, that's the first time I've ever messed that up, and I got really embarrassed. Why was everyone singing along with me? It was my turn to sing. It was my turn in the spotlight, and you took it away from me, everyone. I'm so... Dude, if I could tell you how much of a tension whore I was tonight, how much I embarrassed myself. Ooh. Anyways, so I was really embarrassed by the fact that I messed that up. Someone stood up to do, they got the mustard out, and they got an extra point for it. I got 1 point. They got 2 points because they stood up and did the thing. I'm not gonna lie, I was going to just do the bunnies section of the song, but I got a little bit scared, which is weird because I like attention, so I don't know. So yeah, that was a fun experience. Next up, we had a drawing thing to draw, and the prompt was what would happen if Buffy met Edward Cullen. A lot of people's drawings were quite funny. I didn't really get to see them very well at the end, when they showed them off, but a lot of them were basically Buffy meets Edward, and then they fuck. So there's that. Mine was just Buffy staking Edward with some dust coming out of them. That was basically it. I'll show you a picture of it. It should be here somewhere. It's not a very good drawing. I'm not a drawer. So there was 2 more rounds left. So let's go over those. So the first question for round 4 was William Pratt is also known as. The answer is Spike. William the Bloody. The next question was which Slayer did Faith replace after Drusilla killed them? Or something? I don't know. They mentioned Drusilla in the question. So I wrote down Kendra, and that was the correct answer. Did you get that correct? I'd like to know. The next question was who knocked Caleb out and gave Buffy a chance to recover before defeating him? I mean, the answer is Angel. I mean, yeah. The next question was Willow turns into who when when she first kisses Kennedy? The answer is Warren. I mean, duh. The next question was a multiple choice. Who does Spike sacrifice which big bad or something does Spike sacrifice himself to? One of the options definitely gave everyone a bit of a giggle. The 4th option was the Winchesters. So everyone giggled about that. But the answer was the first evil. The next question was, what is Xander's middle name? And for the life of me, I didn't even write anything down. I left it, and I kept trying to, spit out lines. I was like, okay, what... I remember Anya rehearsing her vows, and, so she would have said, I, Anya, blah, 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 I, Anya, Emanuela, Jenkins, take you, Alexander, blank Harris. What the hell is his middle name? Do you know what his middle name is? Do you? So his middle name is Lavelle. When the hell did we learn his middle name is Lavelle? Anyways, I did not get that correct because I didn't even write anything down. I legit didn't write anything. So the next question was, who bit Oz that turned him into a werewolf? I remembered, and it seemed to be a common thing that people wrote down his cousin. They were looking for the name. So I wrote down his cousin, and then I just picked some random ass name. I wrote Mike. So the answer is Geordie. Okay. I didn't get that right. Anyways. The next question, they gave us 2 points for if we could, anyways. So the question was, what was Joyce's acronym to get rid of demons or something? I don't know. But the answer was Moo, and we got extra points if we wrote down what it meant, which was mothers opposing the occult. And I'm really... This is when I realized I was being a complete know-it-all, because the host read out mothers of the occult, and I was like, no! I literally yelled out, no! It's mothers opposing the occult. And then they were like, oh yeah, that's correct. That's what I've got written down. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't want to be that person, Anyways, so that was round 4. And then we have the final round. So the questions for the final round were, which demon did Giles turn into? This was a multiple choice question. Also, apologies that I can't remember what the multiple choices were, because, look, the fact that I even wrote down what the prompts were is a miracle. There's not a lot of room on this page. Anyways, the correct answer was Fieral Demon, which I got correct. I spelt it wrong initially. And then I read the host's iPad with the options on it, and I just copied whatever was written there. The next question was, what was Oz's band called? And obviously the answer is Dingo Ate My Baby. And then the host was like, that was such a great, such a great name. And I'm not gonna lie, that was actually one of the ideas for my team name at some point, but I was like, no, because I had a dingo, and I used to get very annoyed about people. I still get annoyed about people saying that all the time, and it's rude because my dingo was lovely. The next question was, where did Cordy work to afford her prom dress? This is a multiple choice question, and the answer was April Fool's. I got that correct. The next question was, what was the invisible girl's name, the invisible student's name that was tormenting people? The answer was Marcy. I got that correct. The next question was a multiple choice again, and it was basically, what did Dawn describe herself after Spike got a beating from Glory, which now I'm realizing isn't entirely what happened. It's after Tara gets mind screwed. I mean, the previous episode, Spike did get beat up, but that's not what triggered her to say this. But anyways, the answer was a lightning rod of pain. Well, the answer was a lightning rod, but I wrote of pain and hurt and destruction. I think that's what she says. I'm not sure. But I was right. The next question was, who is the Hell Goddess? And I wrote Glorificus / Glory / Ben. So there you go. That's the answer. And then the next question was, how old did Anya tell the Watchers that she was when they were being interrogated when they came in season 5? And I was like, initially I was going to write 22, but then I did a little bit of math and I was like, how old would she be in season 5? Like, how old would any of the characters be in season 5? The answer is 20. So I wrote 20 and that was correct. And the final question was, what is the only known cure for the Killer of the Dead poison? And that's the poison in the season 3 finale. And the answer I wrote down was Slayer's blood. And that is correct. And yeah. So overall, I think I did pretty well. So there was a tie for second place between two different teams, and they got 35 points. And they had to do a tiebreaker, and if I remember correctly, the questions that they were asked were, what was Angel's human name? And, a couple of people just yelled out the answer when it wasn't even for them. But the answer was Liam, and I got that correct anyways. I didn't write it down, but I remembered, that I thought it and kind of said it under my breath. The next question was, what happened in Once More Feeling? And it's the musical episode, everyone turned into song. And then, I can't remember what the third question was. Sorry, I'm letting you down a little bit here. But yeah, I got some extra points because, I points for enthusiasm. I sang songs, everything. So, the people that were tied, they got 35 points. So that was third and second place. I got 43 points. So yeah, I got 43 points. I came first, and I'm actually really proud, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, there's a huge gap between 35 and 43. I was when I gave in my sheet of paper, and then we're going up the list of everyone's answers and how many points people got, I was getting really nervous that, like, maybe I would just get, like, 3rd place, maybe. Like, I just, for some reason, was so scared that I didn't do as well as I thought. Because I had gotten some wrong. I was like, there's got to be someone that gets everything right. But, you know, eventually, they were like, oh, okay, there's 2nd and 3rd place has tied with 35 points. They have to do a tiebreaker. I heard 35 and I was like, oh my god, I've won. I got 43. And then, yeah, so I got, so as a first prize win, I got a $100 voucher for TGI Fridays. And as I was leaving, like, a bunch of people congratulated me on my win. So, yeah. And the girl, that said that she wanted to be part of my team, was like, I should have been part of your team. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I am kind of a little bit, I don't know if I said this at the start of the video or not, but maybe I'm just repeating myself. I am a little bit, upset that I didn't bring my Slayer scythe in. So I did bring my Slayer scythe. I was going to bring it in, and just, like, show it off, because I like attention. But, like, when I realized that I was alone, I kind of just got a little bit nervous to bring in a giant replica Slayer scythe, so I decided to leave that in the car. Especially since, like, if I needed to get up to pee, I would have to leave it at the table, didn't want anyone to pinch it, like, you know. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've always wanted to do, like, trivia nights and stuff like that, but, like, I've been to, previously, not including the Simpsons one here, I've been to, like, one trivia night at my local cafe, and the questions were, like, really lame and didn't do very well. They were, like, Australian-based, and they were all different types of categories, and, like, some of them were wrong. I'm just saying, some of them were wrong. But yeah, I didn't really, like, it wasn't great, but then when I saw that there was actual themed trivia nights, I was like, hell yeah, this is gonna be exciting. And, like, the fact that it was Buffy, and, like, at this point, I've seen the show quite a lot, and, you know, I've seen other people's reactions. You know, I've organised events with people. You know, there was a Taskmaster video, which I was really proud of. And, you know, there was the Jeopardy video, which I was also really proud of. You know, like a while back now, we did a pilot reading video where I got to play Buffy, and that was really exciting. Like, lots of different, things. Like, this is, if I was gonna win at any trivia, it would be this one. There is an upcoming Vampire Diaries trivia, which I'm probably going to go to. I'm curious how well I'll do on that one as well. I don't know if I'll dress up, because I don't actually have anything other than, like, a Michelson necklace. I don't have anything to dress up as. But, you know, if you guys are interested in seeing how that one went, maybe I'll do a video on that one as well. But I just wanted to go over the events, because I was really proud of how I did, and the experience was a lot of fun. And I'm also going to a Pokemon trivia next week as well. I'm not expecting to do, like, particularly great on that one, because, you know, there's a lot of Pokemon out there now, and, you know, it might be like the Simpsons one, where I know some of the questions. I don't know. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention, each week they have, like, a little specialized menu for the drinks and stuff, and I'll share a picture of what the drinks were, and, you know, I'll also show you the Simpsons one, because there was the Flaming Moe on there, which was kind of cool. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening to, how the event went, and I hope some of you participated in the kind of trivia questions that I read out here. Let me know how well you guys did, because my trivia total was 35 points. So technically I would have, if I didn't get, like, all the extra points from, like, singing stuff and and all that, I probably would have tied too. But my grand total was 43. So, yeah. Let me know how you guys did. Let me know if you want to see more of this kind of content. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one.